Okay, I believe we are live. Hey guys, how you guys doing? My name is Jose Garcia, and today I wanted to welcome you guys to today's Hangout. I have my good friend, my business partner from the UK, Mr. Karen Brown.
What's
Say
up,
hello,
guys?
Karen.
Hey, guys, man.
Yeah, man. We're just waiting for another team member of ours. Hopefully, he jumps on, Mr. Carlos. But yeah, guys, today what we wanted to do, last week we all made a commitment. We're like, you know what? Let's start reading Think and Grow Rich, which is this book right here. We're like, let's start reading it, and every week let's jump on a hangout. Let's jump on a little mastermind. And then what we're gonna do is we're literally just gonna dissect the book. What we learned, our experiences from it, kind of what our understanding of it, because it's a really, really intense book. So, I mean, the reason why we're doing this is because that way, let's say Karen explains it in a certain way that really, really resonates with you, right? I may explain something in a certain way that just clicks, right? So that way we're kind of just throwing a bunch of ideas out there of what we understood from the book. And then that way you guys can get more value, be like, I got it. I understand it. I'm going to apply that. Oh, like a little light bulb was just going to switch off. Okay. So yeah, guys, that's what we're going to start doing every week. We're going to take a chapter and we're going to go ahead and jump on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. I think it's 5 o'clock over there, Karen?
Yeah, at the moment it's 5:14 p.m. So yeah.
Yeah, 5:14 in the UK. It's crazy, huh? You gotta love this business, man.
Exactly. This is the internet, the power of the internet. Do you know what I mean? Networking with each other from country to country. We're making it happen, so it's all good.
Yeah, man. God bless the internet, man, and God bless everything that we have now. Technology is just crazy, right? But yeah, guys. So what me and Karen were talking about, it's kind of what we're doing to dissect this book. And I was sharing with Karen. I was like, man, he's like, what? I was like, what I'm doing is I'm personally going through. Let's say I read chapter 1, I read it 7 times. I could take a whole week and just study chapter 1. And then I move on to chapter 2. Like this week, I'm just finishing up chapter 2. I believe tomorrow is going to be my last day of reading chapter 2, the 7th time. Okay. And for me, I really, really like doing it like this because, guys, I want you to realize that this isn't a race. Okay. We're not like, oh, let me finish this book, Karen. I'm going to beat you, right? I'm going to finish this book before you do. No, this is not like school. I remember in school, I used to just go through books just trying to finish them, be like, yeah, whatever, I read it, right? But this is completely different. This is a whole new ball game. When it comes to success, you really have to study it and understand it so you can start developing a successful consciousness, right?
Of course.
So yeah, guys, that's exactly how I do it. You may want to give it a try. Take a week and literally read a chapter, just one chapter. It'll take you 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, and just read chapter 1 for an entire week. Really, really understand it. Take notes. I have here my little notebook. If you guys can see right here, I have chapter 1 notes, and there's a bunch of notes that I've taken, just like the golden nuggets from chapter 1, right? And then another thing that I do is I also have, here I have my little tape recorder over there. But anyways, so what I do is I record, I go to YouTube and I look up the audiobook and I just record chapter 1, just that audio, just that section. And then when I'm at work, I listen to it. When I'm just, about my day, I listen to it. Yesterday, I was at the gym and I listened to chapter 1 and chapter 2 of Think and Grow Rich. Okay. So again, you're just doing little things that are going to help you to develop that successful consciousness, right? So how do you do it, Mr. Karen? Give us some tips, some advice of what's working for you. And then we'll start and start dissecting what we've learned so far about the book.
Okay, that's cool. Well, the way that I found that's kind of helped me kind of get my head around the book and, start to understand it a bit better is I've recently listened to the whole of the book on audio from a good old friend YouTube. I've reached out to YouTube, looked up Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. You're not the full book. So you want to really go through the whole book. And this is what I've been doing. I've been going through the whole book in my spare time, just kind of listening to the whole of the audio and kind of listening, because obviously they say that obviously it's better to learn. You can learn more from listening, visualizing, and there's all different kind of ways to learn. So I'm trying to visualize it and also listen to it. So what I've been doing is I've been listening to the audio, the full audio, but then I've been going back to specific chapters. While like me and Jose were just saying, we're starting on chapter 1 at the moment. So I've gone back to chapter 1 and I've kind of visualized it and read through it. So I'm kind of doing the audio thing and visualizing, reading thing. And I find that it's helped me. And I think that, by listening to it and, reading it as well at the same time, simultaneously, it'll be better for you and you'll start to really understand it. So, yeah, that's the way that I've been kind of doing. And I think that it will help you guys for just, if you're really just getting started with the book, because it's one of them books you can't just read through the book and then understand it. You have to read it at least 3 or 4 times. You have to listen to the audios. You have to do like what Jose was saying, record some of it and really dissect it down to really, to be able to implement the principles and the concepts that Napoleon Hill uses. Do you get what I mean? Because it's took them principles from 40 different millionaires that is kind of analyzed, and they've gave their version of how they became millionaires, and it's all put into the book. So you really have to dissect the book down. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, I hope that was great for you guys.
That was good. Yeah, thanks, Carrot. Yeah, man, just a little summary about this book. The author is Napoleon Hill. If you guys haven't don't really know much about it, check it out. As you guys can read right there, it says this book could be worth $1 million to you. Okay. So definitely check it out. At the beginning of the book, what it starts talking about, it's about Napoleon Hill. He says that he studied over 500 of the most successful people, in like the 1940s, the 1950s, around those years. So he literally studied for 25 years, 500 of the most successful people. And he wrote this book. Okay. So it's like, if you guys are like, oh, I'm just going to read it once. It's like, okay. So somebody studied 500 of the most successful people for 25 years, and you're going to read it once? That doesn't make sense, right? So you really have to understand it. And another thing, many of you guys may know Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor swears about this book, right? He says he's literally studied this book for at least, 40 or 50 years as well. And he says there is so much depth in this book that, he reads it on a daily basis. I've heard him say that a bunch of times. He's like, man, I read Think and Grow Rich every day, and like I said, guys, it's not a race. It's what you get out of it. That's what the value that you're going to, be able to have in your life, and you're going to be able to share with other people, So we really want to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go on, carry on. Sorry, bro.
It's all right, man. I could hear your little one back there.
Is it feedback coming through? All right, sorry about that.
That's all right, man. We're working from home, right? So we got to have the family, we have the kids, we have everything.
Yeah. We got it all going on. Just keep it real.
Yeah, we keep it raw.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, for sure. So some of the things, that I was able to, write down.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be back in.
All right, man. What's up, guys? Oh man, I have some. What is this? Hot chocolate. Made some hot chocolate. Oh, I made this pot. If you guys, it doesn't look that great because the color is a little messed up. But I made it in ceramics. I don't know if you guys could see my initials down there. That's pretty cool, huh? I made it in November 2014, I think it was. Or no, it was April 2011. So I made it. It's pretty cool, huh? Anyways. All right. All right.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back again.
All right. I was just telling people that I made this pot. I made this in ceramics class.
What is it?
I made this pot in ceramics class. So I was just telling people, I was like, hey, check out. Look, my initials are down there and stuff.
That's good. I'm getting feet. Oh, no, so what? Yeah, it's good.
Are you still good? Are we still there?
Yeah, what it was, I could hear the echoing. Okay, I could hear echoing coming from the mic, but it seems all right now.
Okay, there we go.
But yeah,
All right, but so what I got, guys, from chapter 1. I'm just gonna kind of go down my list and share with you guys the bullet points and stuff of what I've, like I said, the golden nuggets that I've been able to pick up. The first one is that you have to have a clear desire of what you want. Okay, you can't just be like, I want to be rich or I want to have a lot of money. You really need to have a clear desire of exactly what you want. Okay, Napoleon Hill gives a great example of Thomas A. Edison. Right? Let me put my phone on silent. Thomas A. Edison, he was the world's greatest inventor. He invented the light bulb, right? He invented, many, many things. And Edwin C. Barnes was the person who wanted to become the associate of Edison, right? That was his burning desire. He didn't say, oh, I'm just going to go and see if, maybe I'll become an associate of Edison, right? He said, I am going to do it. That is my definite goal. That is my definite desire. And he literally said he put his life on that desire. He wasn't going to deviate from anything else. So that's something that I really, really got from it, is you have to have a definite chief aim and a burning desire to accomplish it. Okay? Let's see what else we have. Determination.
Yeah. Did you want me to touch upon what you just said?
Yeah, sure. We can go back and forth.
Yeah, just I'll just obviously touch on your points. But yeah, like what I got from that point that you just said there about Thomas A. Edison, and obviously when what was his name? The guy, yeah,
Edwin C. Barnes.
Yeah, Henry C. Barnes, when he obviously approached Edison with his proposal of wanting to do business with him, and then obviously he had this burning desire to not let, wouldn't let no come into the equation, like, you're gonna work with me and I'm gonna convince you to work with me, because that was his burning desire. Was not looking to fail on what he had desired. He wanted to make that his reality. So he kind of made sure, and he subconsciously programmed his mind to let him know to go forward with his desire, and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, it does come down to your kind of burning desire towards, your goals and dreams and stuff like that. And
I think the title of the chapter, if you guys can see it right there, it says thoughts are things, and another big thing that Edwin C. Barnes did was that he kept thinking to himself, I am going to make this happen. I am going to be in business with Edison. I am going to be his business associate, right? So he kept on telling himself these things, and in his mind, he was already the business associate of Edison, right? He wasn't waiting until Edison told him, hey, I'll give you an opportunity to be my associate, right? He was like, no. He's like, in my mind, I was already the business associate of Edison, right? So that was another big lesson that, they really, really, touched on in the book. The next thing that I personally want to bring up is failure, right? Many of the times people fail because they quit, right? There was another great example in the book. It was the 3 feet from gold example, right? It talked about a guy who went to Colorado and found a gold mine. And, he was digging, he found a little bit of gold, and then all of a sudden the ore just disappeared. So he kept digging, but, sooner or later he gave up. He's like, oh, we lost it. Too bad. There's no more gold. And he left. He sold the machinery to a junkyard guy. That junkyard guy went and got help from, or he got the, what's it called? Let me see. It says right here. He got advice.
Yeah, from a specialist.
Yeah. He got advice from an expert. And the expert told him, you know what? The gold is going to be 3 feet from where the Darbys had stopped drilling. And that's exactly where they found it, right? So the junk man took millions and millions of dollars because he knew not to give up, and he knew to seek expert help, in order before you quit, right? Yep. So in life, guys, in anything that you guys do, if you guys are thinking about quitting, don't give up. You may be 3 feet from gold. You may be so close to, to having your breakthrough, to seeing your first results, to, just having something that's just going to be like, wow, it's working. It's going to happen. Bam. And you're just going to go. right? But if you give up, if you quit, guess what? You're never going to know if you were 3 feet from gold. And literally 3 feet and
Exactly.
I don't know, maybe this far or something like that, you know?
Mm.
So never, ever, ever, ever give up, okay? And always, always seek expert help before you give up, which you should never quit, right? First of all, I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't ever quit. But if you're lost, if you're confused, if you don't know what you're doing, seek expert help. You know, come to me, come to Karen, come to anybody that, you know, has the results that you want or who is an expert in your field and whatever you want to do. And then ask them and they're going to help you. And then you're going to start seeing the results. All right. You got anything, you got something else to add, Karen?
Yes, it just goes back to the say, you know, quitters never win and winners never quit. And it's kind of like, you know, it's a great quote. And nobody watching that should definitely apply that to their mind and, you know, affirm that like what I would suggest to you guys would be to affirm that quote once you wake up and once before you go to sleep at night. And I can guarantee you will have an effect on your life and the way you think of, and the way you look at things and the way you do things. It will kind of change your perspective on life and stuff. So yeah, that's a great quote that I'd add to that. But I mean, like, as for the guy who, you know, gave up before he reached the gold mine, it's like, you know, you should have just carried on going. Don't ever give up. Keep going, strive for your goals. You know, like, it's funny because I feel like I can resonate with this so much because I feel like I've had like a mind shift over the past month, I'd say. Because at one point I was going through like a lot of struggles in life, and, you know, things started to not go my way, and, you know, I started to develop like a loser's image in my mind. And I had a thought of in my mind like, oh, you know, I can't do this, and, you know, it's probably not for me. But then I kind of started plugging back into my self-development stuff, and, you know, stuff like Think and Grow Rich, reading stuff, and, you know, empowering my mind. And then obviously I had a mind shift, and it was like, yeah, I'm pumped, super pumped. I'm ready to take action. I went into action, you know, trying to make it happen, which is going to create the results that you need in your life. And it's key. So, I mean, so going back to like what we were saying about that, it's like, yeah, man, don't ever give up, because you never know when the goal could be around the corner from you, like my man Jose just said. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, man, don't ever quit. You know, I can tell you guys, you know, maybe some of you guys know my personal story. You know, I struggled for over 5 years. Over 5 years. And, you know, maybe 2 of those years were like me really trying to figure it out. Me really trying to like, man, there's something missing, right? I kept, you know, oh man, this is hard. But it took me over 5 years, but I didn't quit, right? And now it's just amazing to see that I'm able to impact your life, right? That I'm able to impact Karen's life, that I'm able to impact Carlos's life, my team members, the people that are going to be coming, that are going to be attracted to me because I did not give up, right? I didn't quit. So I want you to realize, or to maybe remember, of something that happened in your life when you didn't give up. You know, you were just in the verge of quitting, but you're like, no, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit. And you kept going maybe for another week, maybe for another month. And then bam, it just happened. Bam, it just started working for you, right? Like my man Karen here said, he's like, man, I've been going through a lot of stuff and I felt like quitting. I felt like giving up, but he didn't give up. He didn't quit. And what happened? Bam, all of a sudden he came back to realizing that, that he needs to focus on his personal development. He needs to go back to the basics. He needs to go back to work on himself. So that's why, you know, we started reading Think and Grow Rich. We're going to start doing these hangouts. We're going to start, you know, going through our products. We're going to start doing our things because now he sees that things are going to start to work out for him. Right?
To touch on what, that's great. That's great, my brother. To touch on what you just said, it's like, I remember when I first got started in this industry and you was kind of always saying to me, like, focus on your self-development, but it's like I never really understood the concept of what you were saying. I knew that obviously it's better to work on yourself, but I thought I need to focus on, you know, getting results. And you know, I didn't really realize that, you know, before you get results, you know, you have to kind of, you know, program your mind in a certain way for it to magnetize the results that you want in your life. Do you get what I mean? If that makes sense. And it's like, I felt like I was confused a bit. So it's like it does take you time to really understand this kind of concept and, you know, really start to plug it in. Because a lot of the great leaders in this industry have kind of said that you need to work on 80% of your mind and, you know, like 20% on taking action and stuff like that. So it's like I never really understand that. I used to think, oh, shouldn't it be 80% of taking action and like 20% of your mind? It's like, it doesn't work like that, because if you haven't got the right, correct mind towards taking action, you're not gonna take the action anyway. Do you know what I mean? So you have to have the correct mind to be able to take the action.
I
So,
love
yeah,
that,
man.
I love just the way you just explained it. It was perfect. It's true. And another thing that to add on that, it's like, you know what? Even if you take action, it's not gonna work. Why?
It's not.
Because deep inside you don't believe that it's gonna happen. Deep inside you don't believe that it's gonna work. You know, you can literally work 30 hours a day, which is impossible, right? Because we only have 24. You can work 30 hours a day, you know, blogging, making videos, buying, placing ads, doing all this crazy shenanigans. But if deep inside you have you know, a lack of money conscience, if you believe that making money is hard, if you believe that it's not going to work, guess what? It's not going to work, right? And this is something, guys, that I'm huge on, you know. And like I said, it took me over 5 years to figure that out. Before, I used to, you know, do stuff. I used to go place banners or, you know, flyers at school. I used to walk around the mall, you know, looking for prospects. I used to do all these crazy things, but guess what? They never worked. Why? Because my mind was messed up. My inner was messed up, right? And to me, it's more like 90% of your success comes from the inside. 10% is just the mechanics. It's your product, you know, the traffic, you know, learning how to place an ad, all that shit, little things. That is 10% of it. To me, maybe even 5%, right? Because it all starts from within. And that's something that was, you know, that Napoleon Hill is always talking about, is you have to have your inner game on point. Okay, if you don't have it, you're not going to see results. How Karen said, regardless of how hard you work. And that's something that I love telling my students is like, hey, you need to work on your, you know, you need to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself. And like Karen said at the beginning, he was kind of like, Jose, I came here to make money, dude. Teach me how to make some money. Teach me how to market. Teach me how to, you know, what products I need to promote, get traffic, blah, 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 blah. And that was it. And I was like, no. Let me, trust me. I don't want you to go through the shit that I went through. I don't want you to go through all those years of struggle. I really want you to succeed. So start working on yourself. And now that he's doing it, he's like, okay, I get it. Let me work on myself, right?
Exactly. It's true. It does. It definitely does have an impact on the way you think, the way you start to magnetize the things that you want in your life. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, if you're in the wrong mindset, you're in a negative mindset, and you want to make money and you want to attract all these good things into your life, it's like, you know, if you're only doing negative stuff, negative's gonna follow, obviously. So if you know, pumping your mind with positivity and prosperity and stuff like that, you know, it will follow in its path. Do you know what I mean? So it definitely is key, man. Mindset is key for success.
It is, yeah.
That for sure.
And just to finish off, you know, this little conversation right here that we're, you know, this part of the hangout that we're having, you know, I want to read something straight from the book. You know, this part right here, I highlighted it. You know, it says, success comes to those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. Wow.
That's powerful.
That?
That's powerful.
And I literally put a bunch of like green arrows on it and marked it, and I was like, hey, that's important, right? That is just crazy, guys. You know, you have to not allow yourself to become failure conscious. You know, because if you do, like I said, like, you know, we're talking about this, regardless of how hard you work, how much you put in, how much, you know, how much effort you put in, it's not going to work because you have a failure conscience, you know, so you have to fix this. All right, guys. So anything else you have for chapter 1? You know, maybe we can definitely start rolling on to chapter 2, because today we're going to do chapter 1 and chapter 2. And then from there on, we're just going to take one chapter at a time, you know, every week.
Okay. I've got every person who wins. This is a quote from the book. Every person who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. So basically, from that, it's basically trying to say, you know, don't look for a plan B. Work with plan A and stick with plan A. Do you get what I mean? And it's it's important to stick with plan A, because you know, if you focus on a plan B, then obviously you've already kind of set that failure mentality in your mind. You already think you're going to be defeated, or you could be defeated. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we just talked about having like the winner's image, and you know, being success conscious.
Yeah,
which is kind of like, it's kind of like that. So it's like a good video that I'd say to watch. Like I've mentioned this on previous Hangouts, is the winner's image. Bob Proctor's The Winner's Image. It's a powerful video, and obviously if you watch that video with repetition over like a 30-day period or 60-day period, then you'll start to implant that winner's image in your mind, and you'll become, you know, like you said, success conscious.
yeah.
So definitely check that video out. On the winner's image. You can go ahead and yeah. You got anything to touch on that, bro?
Yeah, man. You know, you went ahead and you bumped on to chapter 2, right? So that's that
was chapter 1.
Was it chapter 1?
Yeah, that's from chapter 1.
I think so. I don't know. yeah, man. When it comes to burning your bridges, that is really, really important. The reason is because you know I've seen this a lot in my life and in other people's lives. Is when they're always like, "Oh, I need to have a backup plan. I need to have a backup plan." Well, the thing with that is that if you have a backup plan, guess what? You're not gonna make plan A work, and you're not going to make plan B work. And you're not even going to make your backup plan work. Why? Because you're not focused on one of them. You see that?
Exactly.
So it's just how Barnes explained it. He didn't have a backup plan. His only goal was to become the business associate of Thomas A. Edison. And that's it. He's like, that's my goal. That's it. I'm going to do it. I put my life on that. And bam, I'm going to do it. And what happened? Took him 5 years, but then he did it. You know, he started selling that the dictating machine and stuff like that. So then he became an associate. But let's say he would have been like, well, I want to be a business associate of Edison, and my backup is going to be to business associate of Henry Ford, and my backup before that or after that is going to be, you know, to be a business associate of Napoleon Hill. It's kind of like, okay,
exactly.
They're all going to be like, well, dude, make up your mind, because you know you can't have. I can't give you my full attention if you're just gonna give me, you know, one third of it, because your mind is gonna be a third with Edison, a third with Ford, and a third with Hill. You know,
what's gonna happen in that situation is you'll have all these thoughts, and then your subconscious mind won't be able to, you know, work with you will cancel out. All your thoughts will cancel out each other. Do you know what I mean? So your subconscious mind won't work towards helping you manifest that into your life. Do you know what I mean? So that's what will definitely happen. You know,
yeah, man, and like I said, it's just something crazy. You know, when it comes to burning your bridges, you know, there are many times when people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, you know what? There's this new thing that's launching. There's this, you know, amazing thing. You know, this new business. It just launched. It's hot. Roll with it." And I'm like, "No, I can't." You know why? Because that's it. I'm focused on my company. I'm focused on Empower, and that's it. Right? I've been with Empower for a good while now. And it's like, no, this is what I want. It doesn't matter how long it's taking me to get there, but it's gonna happen. And Empower's, that's it. That's all I'm gonna focus on. You know, once I have that, you know, once it's extremely successful, then I may think about, you know what, let me focus on something else now. But you have to master one, not be dibbling and dabbling with like 3 or 4 different companies and expecting to make all of them work. You know, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna make any of them work, right? So that's just something else that I definitely wanted to throw out there. Let's see what else we have from chapter 2.
Chapter 2 or chapter 1?
Yeah, we could go to chapter 2 now.
You want chapter 2?
Yeah, sure.
How to develop faith.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
I'm more wanted to hear your point on that. I wanted to hear what you had to say about that.
Where are you at?
Have you found it? I think that's at the start of the chapter of faith.
I don't know, man. I think you're ahead of me, buddy. See, because my chapter 2 it's desire, right? It's page 15, and that's the one that it talks about. You know, a bridge. That's why I kind of thought that maybe our books are.
You know what I've done?
messed up.
Yeah.
You know.
The way the table of contents on my book is it goes the foreword, the publisher's preface, the author's preface, the introduction, then desire, then faith. Is yours the same as that?
No, my faith is chapter 3 because I first have, we first have thoughts are things, then I have desire, and then I have faith. So faith is my chapter 3, which is the one that I haven't studied at all. So that's why I was like, oh, I need your input on this one because I haven't.
That's why we're getting confused. Yeah, my book's a bit different to yours.
Yeah,
I think it's just
we just focus on, let's move on to desire. Does that sound good?
Yeah, go on to desire then. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, let's see what I got for you guys in desire. Okay, I want to go ahead and jump on the 6 ways to turn desire into gold. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So this is like really, really, really important. Okay, like really, really, really important, right? So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just summarize each one, but there's going to be 6 steps. Okay, you have to do these 6 steps in order to, to be able to get the amount of money that you want, to be able to accomplish whatever you want in life. Okay? Let's see. I'm going to read them to you guys real quick, okay? First, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. Be definite as to the amount. That's step number 1. Okay? Second step, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. There is no such reality as something for nothing. That's step number 2. Okay? Step number 3, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. So a definite date. Step number 3. Step number 4, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. That's step number 4. Okay? Step number 5. Write a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money. And describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. Okay? You guys got that? That's step number 5. So step number 5, let's dissect it a little bit. It says you have to write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, name the time and the time limit of its acquisition, state what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly a plan, that you intend to accumulate it. Okay, that's really, really important, guys. I have my definite chief aim over there, and here, let me just go ahead and finish off step number 6, which is going to be read your written statement out loud twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. Again, number 6, read your written statement out loud twice daily, once just before retiring at night and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. Okay? How'd you guys like that? How'd you guys like that?
That was powerful, brother. That was powerful.
Definitely. Guys, this is crazy. And I want to give you guys my perspective, and then I'll definitely let Karen jump on with his. This is another reason why for me, I say I struggled for over 5 years. Why? Because of those 6 steps. Step number 1, I had no idea how much money I wanted. Error number 1. Error number 2, I had no idea what I was going to give in return for it. Step number 3, I had no idea the date that I was going to have the money. And I tell you guys, I didn't even have an amount that I wanted, right? Step number 4, I never created a game plan. I just knew that I wanted to make a lot of money. I just knew that I wanted to become wealthy. But again, I had no idea of the exact amount, of what I was going to give in return for it, of the exact date for it. So, of course, I did not read my statement every day. You guys see that? So this is like a golden bar that I'm literally giving you guys and telling you guys, hey, excuse me, I made that mistake, right? I did not know clearly what my goal was. So I'm telling you guys have to know exactly what your goal is, exactly the day that you're going to have it, exactly what you intend to give for it. Okay? And you have to follow those 6 steps, guys, because unless you have that, you're going to be like me. You're going to be going around in circles for years and years and years and years and months and months and months and days, because you have nothing that when you wake up, you're just like, oh man, I have my to-do list, but I don't even know what I'm doing this for, right? On the other hand, if you know, hey, you know what? I'm going to make $10,000 by X amount of day, X amount, whatever, bam. You know what your mind is working, or your subconscious mind is working towards a goal. It's bringing you the resources that you need in order to make that a reality, right? But if you don't have, if you're just like, hey, subconscious mind, I want to make a lot of money. Subconscious mind is like, well, okay, well, I don't know how to help you, right? So that's just something that I really, really wanted to share with you guys. Be sure you guys follow these 6 steps. What you got, Mr. Karen?
Yeah, to be honest, you explained that perfectly. That was kind of similar to what I would have probably said as well. But touching on, it's about visualizing this stuff and reading it aloud. Once you read it aloud, the 6 steps, and kind of once you've kind of written out your definite chief aim, and it's like you read it aloud, it's like you start to align your mind with your goals. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, for me, I never used to write down goals and stuff like that. So it's like, sometimes when you don't write down goals, it's like Jose was just saying, you don't have nothing to work towards. It's like you just think, oh, okay, then I'll do it whenever I feel like doing it. But once you've written down that goal, and it's like, it's like you kind of hold yourself accountable. Do you get me? Because you're reading it, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna work towards this. I'm gonna work towards this. So it's like, definitely, I'd say to write your goals down, read it aloud. Your subconscious mind will start to pick it up. The more the repetition, obviously, the more you tell it to yourself, affirm it every day, and it will start to manifest in your life, because your mind will start to become, you will absorb it, and it will start to try to manifest it in your life, make it your external reality. So yeah. Definitely. That's all I got for that.
That's the beautiful thing about it, man. It's like your mind is just gonna start to give you ideas on how to do it. Okay, I kid you not. At the beginning, you're gonna be like, "This is a bunch of BS. This isn't gonna work."
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but you do that. I kid you not. Do it for like 5 days, maybe a week. Do it, and if you do it, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit! You know what? I could do it. You know what? This is gonna happen." You do it for like 2 or 3 weeks, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is definitely gonna happen. Watch me. Watch this." Right? And if you want to test it, just test it. Right? If you're brand new to this, or if you're kind of like, oh, I don't know about this, just be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make $1,000 over the next 60 days, and just write it down. Write it down. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick like, I'm gonna make $50,000 in a week and a half, because your mind's gonna be like, yeah, no, you're not. Right? But if you pick something that it's a little bit believable, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna make $1,000 this month. I'm going to make $1,000 in 30 days, in 60 days. Whatever you feel like, it feels good. It has to feel good, right? If you tell yourself, I'm going to make $50,000 in 2 weeks, and your mind's just like, shit, no, you're not, dude. You're going to feel bad, right?
Yeah.
But if you're like, you know what? I'm going to make $1,000 in a month. Ooh, you just get excited. You're like, okay, that's it. That's my number. Damn. You could pick 3,000, 5,000, whatever you want. Just be sure that it feels good, that you believe it. You know what? I could probably do that. And then just test it. Okay? Just definitely test it. And, go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, just touching on what you just said, it's like, you may not fully believe it straight away, but once you start to affirm it every day to yourself, you slowly start to believe it, and then you'll be like, yeah, I can do this. I know I can do this. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll start to work towards your goals. It will happen. I'm telling you, it's something that I've kind of, used, and it's kind of worked effectively. So
yeah, guys,
I feel pumped. I feel pumped.
How me and Karen, we've been talking about the mind, right? You have to convince your subconscious mind that it's a reality. Okay, and if you read your statement every day, you're gonna start to convince your mind that you can do it. And then what's going to happen, guys, you're going to start to feel really good. because you're gonna believe that it's gonna happen. Like I just want you just to maybe close your eyes and just visualize yourself what it would be like to have $1,000 within the next month. What would you do with that money, right? Like, oh man, I would make a $500 payment on my credit card. I would make another $400 payment on my car. You know what? I may even take my family for a fancy dinner for $100 to an expensive, nice, luxurious restaurant. I get to spend $100 on a meal for me and my spouse and my kid. How does that feel?
Feels powerful, man.
So it's just like doing little things like that. It's like that feels good, and feeling good, guys. That's like a total new hangout that we have to do about the power of feeling good. Because if you feel good, holy smokes, everything else is just awesome, right? But we want to focus on the book right now. So Karen, let's write that down. We definitely got to make a hangout on feeling good, right? The power of feelings and stuff. So we'll definitely get on that, guys. Let's see. Oh yeah, the last thing I wanted to tell you guys about the 6 steps is I have personally created a definite chief aim outline. Okay. So what I could do is just shoot me a message on Facebook or just contact me by email or however however you can get a hold of me, right? Because you're going to be watching this video, and then just be like, hey Jose, can I have the outline of your definite chief aim? Okay. And here, let me go ahead and let me get it. See, I have. Oh, there you go. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm back. See, so I have Jose Garcia's definite chief aim, right? I have self-confidence formula, and I have these emails of the commission notifications, right? This is something huge, right? I don't know if you guys can see that, right? Can you guys see that?
Just about. Yeah, I can just about see it.
It's like it says, congratulations, Jose. You have just referred a new member to the Kalatu Basic. Congratulations, Jose. You have just referred a new member to the Kalatu Premium. And it goes on with affiliate. You have just referred an inner circle sale. You have just referred a top producer formula sale. You have just referred a team building formula sale. You have just referred a mass influence formula sale. Okay? So I read these every day, and I'm believing that it's going to happen. I know I get these emails on my phone that says, congratulations, Jose, you have just signed up a new member. It's like, oh, that's awesome. But again, you have to trick your mind to the reality that you really, really want. Okay? And then, like I said, I could send you guys the definite chief aim that I have written down. I already sent it to Karen. All Karen had to do is just kind of modify it to whatever feels good for him. I was like, Karen, put your date, put your amount of money, and if you want to change, little things here and there, go ahead and change it. It's not a big deal. Like I want to read you guys something, right? So I'm gonna read you guys step number 2, okay? Or is it? Yeah, step number 3, which is define what you intend to give in return for the money, right? Oh no, it's step number 2. Okay, check it out. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable of. I will provide great service by giving to others love, happiness, kindness, laughter, value, knowledge, and inspiration in the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of a successful online entrepreneur. See? So that is my step number 2. So I literally went in and I took the 6 steps and I wrote them all down. Okay? So that's what I intend, right? I want to give love. I want to give kindness. I want to give knowledge. I want to, study these books and give the value that I learned to people. Okay? And inspire people and just, like, what, you can do it and believe in people. See, that's what I'm going to give. Because another thing that I thought was kind of like, hey, you can't put a price to love, can you? I know I can't. I can't put Karen can't buy love. Karen can't give me all the money in the world if I give him love. If I'm like, Karen, I love you, man. I love you. He can't pay me that. He can't pay money for me to love him. So I'm like, hey, this is something that is completely detached from money because I'm going to give this. And, even if somebody wanted to pay me for it, they can't. That's how powerful that is, right?
It's
Love,
authenticity.
kindness, happiness, laughter. I love making people laugh. That's why sometimes I'm a clown, right? Because I love making Karen laugh. I love making people laugh and smile, and I like to make them feel good, right? So that's what I intend to give. Okay. So like I said, guys, if you guys would like, like I said, the Deaf and Achieve Fame, just shoot me a message and be like, hey, Jose, can I have the copy of a Deaf and Achieve Fame? And I'll just email it to you. And then you could definitely just put in your information in there, right? The amount of money you want, the date you want, and maybe what you intend to give if it's a little bit different or whatever. Okay, guys. So that's what I got for that, Karen. We got anything else for chapter 2? Let's go ahead and try to wrap it up real quick. I know you gotta get going real quick.
Yeah, I have. It's kind of touching on what we've I've got something, but it's kind of touching on what we've been kind of discussing. But I have a quote here. It says, "Wishing will not bring riches, but desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession. Then planning definite ways and means to acquire riches." Do you know what I mean? And what I got from that. Hold on 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, what I got.
Go ahead, man.
Have you found it?
I think so.
Yeah, but basically, what I got from that was basically that you have to kind of make it an obsession before your mind starts to work with it. Do you know what I mean? To try to make it happen for you in your life. So I believe that's kind of what that touches on, making it an obsession. So yeah, that's what I've really got for that, to be honest with you. And kind of goes back to what we've been discussing in the hangout previous to what I was saying now. So
that's awesome. Yeah, man. That's another big thing, guys, is we can't just wish for money or hope for it. Because think about it, like if I say, hey man, I hope I can make $10,000. How does that sound? That just sounds like that's it's not gonna happen because you're hoping for it. You're not saying,
hey, sounds ridiculous.
I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be awesome. I desire to make this amount of money. I desire to make $10,000. See the difference?
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
Hope is like similar to the word try. And if you guys know me, like I hate the word try. Like I don't like it.
Yeah, we don't use try. We don't use try around here.
Yeah, we don't use try. Try is like I'm gonna try to do something. It's like just stop. Because if you're gonna try, is like if you really, really study that word, trying is you're setting yourself up for failure. You're telling yourself that if you don't do it, it's okay because you tried. Right? So I'm gonna try to make Empower work. It's like it just sounds wrong, right? It just sounds kind of like oh, you're not gonna do it, man. We listen a lot to our mentor, Dave Wood, and that guy, he's like, I am going to do this. I am going to create 100 millionaires a year with Empower. I am going to do this. He doesn't say I'm going to try to make 100 millionaires a year. I'm going to hope that this happens, So there's a big difference, guys. Whenever you guys are talking, remember that you have to remember how things come out of your mouth. Because the way they come out, that's kind of how your mind has it programmed. So if you use the word try a lot, in your subconscious mind, realize that your subconscious mind is kind of like telling itself that it's not going to make it happen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that was really good. Let me see what else I have highlighted in chapter 2. Oh, yeah. Well, this is another, the thing that we were talking about quitting. But there was another good quote here. It says, "No one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality." Okay. So again, just going back to giving up, right? Unless you say, I quit or I'm defeated, then you're defeated. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Another good one right there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, another cool little thing that I really liked was the story of the little deaf boy. Napoleon Hill's son, how he was deaf when he was born, but he had that burning desire to be able to hear. And something really, really cool that I liked from that story was the fact that, you know, he borrowed 6 cents. Here, let me read it to you. It says, he borrowed 6 cents in capital from the neighborhood shoemaker, invested it in papers, sold out, reinvested, and kept repeating it until late that evening. So what this means is like, you know what? You have to be willing to invest. You have to be like this little kid. He went out of his way to go sell newspapers. But he had no money. He had nothing. So what did he do? He borrowed 6 cents from a shoemaker. He bought newspapers. He sold them. He reinvested it. And at the end of the day, it said that he had a net profit of 42 cents. That is after he paid the 6 cents to the shoemaker. Okay? And this is a little kid, you know, and it's just like, man, like that is what desire is all about. Like being able to do things that you really, really want and not being scared that something's going to happen. Like this little kid, he wasn't scared. He's like, oh man, I'm going to get hit by a car. Oh man, I don't know how to do this. No, he kept a burning desire to make money. So he came up with the idea, hey, I'm going to go borrow 6 cents from a shoemaker, buy papers, sell them, reinvest them, and just do that a lot or, you know, repetitively. And then I'm going to make 42 cents or 43 cents, 46 cents of profit. You see that?
Of course, man. That's powerful. Powerful, man. Powerful.
So that,
sure.
Yeah, guys, it's just something else that was really, really powerful. And again, this chapter really, really talked about desire, right? That's the title of the chapter. And it just talks about how desire is really, really powerful, how not, you know, how many people may not see the potential in you. You know, it gives an example of an opera singer, right? A famous opera singer, Schumann Hank, I think it's how you pronounce the name, right? How she went to try out for opera, and the guy just looked at her and he's like, hey, you're not, you know, just go and work, because you know with that personality and you know with the way you're dressed, you're not going to be good in opera. But that guy had no idea about desire, and what she had was a burning desire to be an opera singer, right? So again, remember that whatever desire you have, it's going to happen. It's going to manifest. Don't worry about what other people tell you. Don't worry about people telling you you can't do it and, you know, oh, that's you know, you're going to fail, whatever. No. Focus on your desire. Focus on your mind. Focus on developing a successful conscience, and you're going to see that everything is just going to start to manifest for you. Everything is going to start to work out. But, of course, I mean, you have to put in work. I'm not going to be like, hey, you know, just sit there and do nothing, you know, but it's going to give you that inner urge of wanting to do something. And that
so it will give you that inner drive.
Yeah, that inner inspiration, so then you can go out there, take the action, and get the results, right? But if your mind is messed up, you're never going to have that inner drive. And like we said, you need to have the inner game fixed, so that way you can have the action that you take is going to be profitable. Okay. Otherwise, like we said, even if you work 20 hours a day, and if your mind is messed up, if you're not all there up here, you're not gonna see much results because you don't believe it, right? So what do you got, Mr. Karen?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all I got, to be honest with you, on that chapter. But yeah, I'm just hoping. Obviously, we gave quite a lot of value today, so I'm feeling good about that, man.
We did, man. Yeah, guys.
Give a lot of value today.
I think we're gonna go ahead and stop the hangout now, guys. I really, like we said, we know you guys got some value. You know, if you have to, go ahead and go back and watch the replay, watch it a couple of times, and just take out a couple of those nuggets. And my recommendation would be just check out this book. You know, it's like literally under $5 on Amazon. You know, just grab yourself a copy on Amazon, go to Barnes and Noble. You know, and if anything, just go to Google, type up Think and Grow Rich PDF, and you're gonna be able to get a copy to it. You know, you're gonna get the PDF.
Free copy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I'll even go ahead and just maybe, you know, wherever this, if I could save this on my blog or something, I'll put a link to it, and it'll take you directly to that page, so you can just literally open up the PDF and start reading it. Okay, guys.
Yeah, you can also
really awesome book, guys. So, like I said, that's all I have for you guys today. Next week we're gonna go ahead and dissect chapter number 3, which is gonna be on faith. Right. So same time, 9 o'clock our time here in Fresno, California, 5 o'clock UK time. So any last words, my brother?
Strive towards your goal. Don't let nobody deter you from, creating that income and lifestyle that you desire. That's what I'd say to that.
That's
definitely,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Work towards your goals. Don't let nobody stop you.
That's powerful. And I wanna end it up with this. Perfect, right here. You guys can read that. There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. That was just perfect,
That's
Karen.
Powerful.
Look at that. Just the way Karen ended it.
Off
It was
the head.
right. It was. Look at that.
Yeah.
It says right there. There are no limitations to your mind. The only limitations are the ones you acknowledge. And like Karen said, don't live the lifestyle that you want. You can do it. Okay, but you have to put it in your mind. There's no limitations. If somebody tells you you can't live like that, you'd be like, you know what? Watch me. Hey, watch me. Watch what I do. Right? So that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you guys very, very much. I appreciate your time. I love you guys. I know you guys gained some value. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to contact me, contact Karen directly, and we'll go ahead and do our best to help you out, give you some value, put you on the right track, and we'll definitely see you guys on the next Hangout. All right, guys?
Hopefully, yeah. Go ahead, sorry. Are you going to look up? Nah, don't worry. Hopefully, on our next Hangout, we'll have our team partner, Mr. Carlos E. Banks, with us as well to kind of share some great value with you guys as well. So,
yeah,
it should be a great one.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Yeah, Carlos is a great speaker. He's full of wisdom. I love that guy, too. Today we gave him a couple of calls, but he wasn't able to make it. But it's all good, right? We're here to serve you guys. And if one of us can't be here, the other one will definitely take charge of the Hangout and make things happen. All right, guys?
Yeah, so
thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.